Welcome to the Money Manifestation Mastery podcast with your host, Lara Waldman, where we talk all things money. Big money, big purpose, big power. Waking up your wealth for heart-centered business owners and entrepreneurs. In today's episode, we are going to look at the difference between quick money, fast cash, and slow, conscious wealth creation. What is the difference? And why is it important and valuable to think slow money, slow wealth creation to build strong, stable financial foundations for your wealthy, abundant future? Let's dive in. This week, I've been thinking about how I was at the start of my money manifestation mastery journey, how I used to be with money, how I used to think about money, how I used to act around money, and the difference of how I think and act around money now. And I wanted to speak to you about the difference between what I'm calling fast money or quick cash and slow, conscious wealth creation, and what the difference is. When I first started playing with money manifestation mastery in this process that I downloaded, that came in from my wealthy wisdom within, and I started to put it to the test and start to play with it, I started to practice using it, I was thinking about how to make money now, because I was in financial lack, financial scarcity, with a lot of anxiety, with no idea of how to make money, no idea how to get clients. I was in a panic. And when I'm in that place of anxiety or panic, lack, scarcity, not enough, I tend to rush. And I say that rushing is a trauma response. Rushing is coming from that lack, scarcity, not enough place. And I found personally that even though it's possible to create results from that place of rushing, anxiety, panic, quick, go, get results now, I found that it doesn't create the best results for me long term. So I have learned how to make money from that place, that it can work and it is possible, but the cost is not worth it. And I found that from that place of rush and panic and what I call fast food money, it's not the most sustaining long term. So in the beginning, I was playing with money manifestation from this point of view of how do I make money now? How do I make money yesterday? Because we didn't have enough of it. And I couldn't see where it was coming from. I was completely disempowered when it came to business, when it came to finance, and it all seemed like this great unknown. Looking back now, I would say that I didn't have the business skills, I didn't have the marketing skills, I didn't have the sales skills. I was lacking information, I was lacking skills, I didn't know. So I had this talent or this gift that I was good at, a skill that I developed and honed over many years, but I didn't actually know how to bridge that talent or skill into exchanging value for money. But at the time, it was just this big mess. I was in a huge blind spot, and I was in a lot of panic and anxiety when it came to money. Or I completely disassociated from it. I didn't think about it. I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to know about it until I absolutely had to. And then that was the quick, fast panic around money. So when I started working with the money manifestation mastery tools and started playing with them, I was thinking about getting money now, getting clients now, money in the bank now, results now. And the tools do work. And so over time, I did start to manifest money. I did start to welcome more money into my life, more clients into my life. I became good at making money, but it would come in, land in, and very quickly I noticed that it would disappear. So I would feed myself quickly in the short term and then run out of money. I didn't know how to sustain myself when it came to money. So I call this quick money or fast food money. It would come in, but then go out. And very soon I was hungry again. And I was in this cycle for a while with my money manifestation mastery journey. And I started to notice a pattern. That, well, I'm manifesting money. Money's coming in, but I'm also losing that money. The money's disappearing. What is going on? And I started to uncover and discover that I could make it, I could manifest it, I could have it come into my life, but I didn't know how to keep it. I didn't know how to hold it. I didn't know how to sustain it. I didn't know how to grow it. And there was my next level money problem. I was making it, but not keeping it. And it was like a hot potato, trying to get rid of it as soon as it came in. So this was when I started to understand the importance of receiving and learning how to receive money, learning how to have it, to hold it, to grow it. So that was my next level. But what I see with many people, especially when we are in any kind of anxiety or lack or scarcity or not enough, we make fast, quick decisions to just take care of the now. It's a survival pattern. It's a survival process. And yes, that is important. It's incredibly important to take care of the now and to look after what is required and what is needed now. So we do need to take care of the ground. But what can also happen is that this becomes a pattern, a survival pattern, where your relationship with money, with making and having it, is all about survival. So it's quick, it's fast. We're just thinking very short term, thinking very much about money now, quick money, fast money. And I found that from this place, we don't always make the best decisions. It might take care of you now, but it's not necessarily going to be the best decision for your future. And this way of thinking, this fast food, quick money culture, gets a lot of people into trouble. This is where we have these get-rich-quick schemes and making bad financial decisions, or very risky ones. It's more like gambling rather than conscious wealth creation. So I wanted to talk about the difference between these two ways of being with money, and also share a little bit about my journey, where I've come from and where I am now. So when I think back to where I was at the start of my money journey, I have a lot of compassion for myself. I want to give that version of myself a big hug. I had so much learning to do. I had so much unlearning to do. I had a lot of mindset work to do, belief work to do. I had a lot of stories to transform and a journey to go on. So I always love to flood these parts of ourselves with compassion and empathy and patience, because we don't know what we don't know. And we always have blind spots. And you have to start where you are, but also not let where you are be the leader of your life, be the leader of your finances, because there is missing information. There are blind spots. And those patterns of lack and scarcity, not enough, what happens when we're making decisions from anxiety, are not always our best decisions. So you have to take care of the ground. You need to pay the bills and make life work for you now. But what I want to invite you into is more of a bigger picture, longer term thinking when it comes to money. What I've learned over time by following my wealthy wisdom within, that inner guidance system, my intuition that's aligned with my heart, my body, my soul, that comes from a place of empowerment, of wholeness, of enoughness, of worth, deep connection with life. This part of me guides me into a very different place. It's a much deeper, richer, wealthier way of living, being, and creating. So money manifestation mastery is inviting you too into a deeper, richer, connected place of conscious wealth creation. True wealth, financially and in every area of your life, takes time. It's a journey. It's a process. It's a process of learning. It's a process of unlearning. And it's more like a slow-cooked meal than fast food, quick fix, fill the hunger gap now. It takes thought. It takes time. It takes preparation. It has a slower, more conscious approach. It comes from a place of nourishment, wanting to feed and love and take care of. But it requires patience. It requires a longer term vision. And when we're coming from a place of abundance, of wholeness, of enoughness, of knowing that you are worthy and deserving and valuable, and knowing that you need to be well taken care of, you'll make decisions from a very different place. Now, that survival brain, that anxiety, that lack, scarcity, not enough is a very hardwired pattern and program. It's very natural and normal. It's a very strong and well-established pathway in your brain that will inspire you to do all sorts of things and to not do all sorts of things. But this process of money manifestation mastery is inviting you to slow down, to deepen into your roots, to calm and to ground, and to take your time. Because what you're here to build is a much deeper, richer, more profound experience than that survival part of your brain can fathom. Because you're being taken into a new world, a wealthy world, a richer world that is far greater than your current or past lived experience. It's what I call integrated wealth. Wealth that is created, guided by your heart, body, soul, the earth. That's going to bring you fulfillment and nourishment. That's going to support you and hold you and look after you. And this includes money, and money is part of it, but it's not the only piece. Money is one pillar to wealth creation. But we need to slow down to speed up, to build strong, stable foundations that are going to hold you, support you, feed you, nourish you in the long term. So part of the daily money manifestation mastery practice is to create space for you to slow down, for you to sink into that wealth cave within, for you to tap into your wealthy wisdom and take a minute to calm down the anxiety, to calm down the lack and scarcity, to calm down the stories, the voices, those knee-jerk reactions, and to sink deeper into yourself, to connect to who you are when the money is here, that future wealthy you, that empowered version of yourself. And that seed of consciousness lives inside of you now, but that seed needs to be planted. It needs to be nurtured. It needs to be looked after so it can grow and thrive and blossom. And that goes the same for your finances, for your financial reality. And wealth takes time to build. Wealth takes time to grow. That is financial wealth and wealth in every area of your life. Anything that is worthwhile, that is going to feed you in the long term, nourish you in the long term, takes time and takes continual care, continual work. So the fast food culture, the quick money now, will feed you in the short term. It might fill the hunger gap. It might solve your problem now, but it's not going to feed you in the long term. So yes, you need to feed yourself in the short term. You need to take care of the ground now. But in terms of building true wealth and strong financial foundations, we need to think differently. Think slow cooked meal, slowing down to speed up. To build your financial future is going to take time. And that means making decisions now that are going to feed your future, planting seeds now that are going to feed you in time to come, that you won't see the results of for some time. So this means having a bigger vision. This means working towards something that will take time. And that is hard. That is hard to hold at times. And this is why it's so important to hold yourself, to hold your wealth, hold that vision, to connect to it each and every day, to feed it, to fuel it, to put fertilizer on it, and to keep growing it, and to allow that future vision, that future you, to lead you and guide you in your present. Because otherwise that fast food, quick fix, panic, rush, lack, scarcity part of you is going to be running the show. And bless that part, it can create a huge mess. And it's going to keep you cycling and looping in old habits and behaviors that are fine, that keeps you surviving, it keeps you afloat, but it keeps you hustling, running, spinning your wheels, desperately trying to stay afloat. And there is another way, but it's going to take some time, and it's going to require patience. It's going to require letting go of some things. It's going to require unlearning. It's going to require learning, maybe learning new skills, unlearning old habits. And that process is really uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. So it's short-term pain for long-term gain. And now where I sit on my money manifestation mastery journey, I think much more in terms of 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. I'm making decisions now for my wealthy future, where when I first started this game, I was just thinking fast money now, money now. I wasn't thinking about the future. I wasn't thinking about my foundations. I wasn't thinking how to feed myself and nourish myself long term. I didn't know how to think like that because I didn't know how to receive. I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel deserving. I had a big money mess that I needed to sort out. I had some work to do when it came to my money mindset, my relationship with money, my relationship with myself, my self-worth, my power. I had some work to do. And luckily, I followed that wealthy wisdom within, that future wealthy me. I followed the steps, the money manifestation mastery methodology, and I kept coming back to this practice day in, day out. And it has kicked my ass. It has been incredibly uncomfortable and still is. Change is not comfortable. And this is why most people don't change. But this podcast is here to support you if you are ready, if you're willing to do the work and to take care of yourself into the future and to do the work to transform yourself in the present, heal your past, to create a new, wealthy, healthy, abundant future for you. I'm here to support you to do that. One day, one moment, one breath at a time. So please be patient with yourself. Please be kind to yourself. Know that change happens one choice at a time. It's perfectly imperfect. You will fumble, you will fall, you will fail, you will make mistakes. But the practice is to get back on the surfboard, to get back on the saddle, and step back into the money manifestation mastery practice each and every day as you train yourself, rewire to receive, embody your wealth, tap into that future wealthy you, follow your intuition, follow that wealthy wisdom within that will guide you one step at a time, taking that brave, bold, aligned action each and every day. Thank you for joining us for today's conversation, fast food money versus slow cooked wealth. I hope you've enjoyed this conversation. I'd love to know what is popping for you, what is coming into your awareness when it comes to your relationship with money, how you're being with money, what you're thinking about money, your relationship with money. It's a rich and juicy conversation. I would love to hear. So come over to my website, larawaldman.com, send me a message. I would love to hear from you. And if you'd like any more support into this world of conscious wealth creation, come and check out some of our events. We've got free online retreats, online masterclasses. I've got my book, Money Manifestation Mastery. There are plenty of resources for you over at my website, larawaldman.com. Come and check it out. Let's dive even deeper together. And I look forward to being with you again next time for another episode of the Money Manifestation Mastery podcast. See you then.